Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. I'm here with Marcus Carter, and what we're going to talk about is construction risk mitigation, right? Hey guys, here at Investor Fuel, we bring up all these things to really help investors, service providers, and all real estate entrepreneurs 2 to 5x their business, right? Giving them tools to be able to help them grow a business they want to grow and live a life they want to live. As that being said, Marcus, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks, John. Happy to be here. Appreciate
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. I'm definitely interested to learn more about that construction risk mitigation. It's like a tongue twister for me.
It is.
You're trying to say it fast enough, right? And I want to learn more. Before we get into all that, why don't you tell our audience a little bit more about, who is Marcus, how you got into real estate or lending, and, just a little bit more about you.
Yeah. So quick macro view of who I am. So I graduated here from USD in San Diego and got a finance degree. And actually, I landed in lending in '94. I really didn't know what I wanted to do, but I got kind of this entree into residential lending, and quickly gravitated to the private money space, and opened a small little boutique private money lender in San Diego, a lending company in San Diego back in '99. And so kind of dating myself a little bit, but yeah, and did a lot of construction lending, John. Did a lot of construction lending, a lot of ground up construction, a lot of rehab financing. And it was all funded privately. We had a group of investors that would put money into trust deeds, and we would fund these transactions. And then through that, I was utilizing. So when you fund a construction loan, you obviously can't disperse all the money to the contractor up front or the owner. You got to hold it back, and you have to use a mechanism to actually hold that back. And you want to do it properly. You want to disperse that money properly. You want to make sure the work's been completed. You want to make sure that lien releases are issued. And then you want to make sure everybody that's owed money on that project as it goes along the way through that draw process gets paid properly. So I was using a company back then. La Mesa Lumber had a fund control business, and that's what they did. But fast forward to '07, they decided to shut down their fund control business. And so I'm pretty entrepreneurial, and I like businesses, and I thought, gosh, this is a huge need, and there's not a lot of places that do fund control and construction risk mitigation specifically for lenders.
Right.
And so we took that business over. We started La Mesa Fund Control and Escrow back then. This is 2007.
Interesting.
And we've been growing it ever since. We're probably the third largest nationwide provider of construction risk mitigation in the country, and we focus on really three main pillars of our business. Are pre-construction reviews. We review a construction project up front. We handle the disbursements, so we manage the construction project through fund control, and then we do the inspections all the way through that process. So we started that business back in '07, and we've been growing it ever since. And
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
It's been a super fun ride. We work with all different types of lenders, banks and finance companies, and a lot of private money lenders and investors, and you name municipalities. So
Right.
yeah, covers a lot of territory. So
Awesome. Well, and for some of our folks that are listening that maybe aren't as familiar with some of the terms, the real estate
Sure.
terms, I mean, kind of give me a little bit more of a general idea. What is that construction risk mitigation, and why is it important?
yeah. Well, if from a lending standpoint, construction lending is probably the riskiest type of lending that you can do, because it's not just, it's after you fund that loan, what happens. And you've got a project that's moving. You got people coming and going. You got contractors there. You got workers there. You got sticks going up in the air. You got all sorts of moving parts when it comes to your collateral. So from a lending standpoint, you really have to have the back end of your business buttoned up. And you've got to be able to manage that disbursement process and make sure that project, your collateral, is actually getting built. I mean, last thing in the world you want is your collateral not to get built, or to get half built, or to have problems along the way. So
Got it.
So that's really the genesis behind fund control. That's really where it was created. It was probably started 50 years ago. There were a few companies out there that were doing it, and it was really a lender product that allowed lenders to kind of manage that disbursement and that draw process through construction.
Okay.
So
you were doing this before you started this company. Is there any special type of things you had to get, or any type of like licensing to be able to do all this type of stuff for it?
Great question. Yeah. So we are a licensed and bonded independent escrow company in California, which and we actually hold two licenses. We hold a traditional escrow license and also a joint control license.
Okay.
And that allows us to disperse funds, hold money, and then disperse money in phases for construction projects. So
Awesome.
So it's a DFPI license. We have to have audited financials every year. It's a pain in the rear end, but we got to do it. And yeah. So
How have and I'm sure once you say California, we both thought about it. How have these whole fire situation things? How have all this? Because I know it changed the big landscape of insurance.
Yeah.
Right. How has that, or have any effect on you and your business?
Well, we work with a lot of lenders and a lot of homeowners who have had fire damage and have their homes burned down. So right now we have probably already onboarded maybe 10 or 15 projects up in the LA area that are going to be rebuilds. So right now, some of them are just going through the kind of cleaning up the lots, the mitigation of that lot and cleaning it out, making sure that the soils are clean at that point. It's really what the city's requiring. So they're working with engineering firms that are ultimately having to go through and actually clean the dirt and clean the lot up before they go back in for permits and actually rebuild that project. So yeah,
okay,
we're doing a lot of that right now. So it's kind of in the infancy stage, just because the fires just happened. So
they just have they're sifting through a lot of stuff. Are there any specific type of properties that you guys like specialize in, that you focus in? I mean, do you do all commercial? Do you do all residential? Everything? Yeah,
John. Across the board, it covers all different types of projects, any type of construction project, but probably 75% of our business is residential.
Okay.
So the vast majority of the projects that we do are residential, and they can be as small as little $20,000 or $30,000 renovation projects, flip projects, up to $350 million ground up construction project in Idaho, and they're built a 200 unit apartment complex. So we see it all. So.
There's a lot of those 200 unit apartment complexes going up out here. We see them all the time out here. Interesting. Yeah. Now, do you lend on specific projects? Like, I mean, are there like like a boundary, like what you would lend on versus what you wouldn't lend on, or you would work with what you wouldn't?
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Yeah, so we're not a lender. We're strictly a service provider
Okay.
for
All right.
lenders. So
Got it.
so for instance, Axos Bank might hire us because they're going to fund a $4 million ground up construction project of somebody's dream home in Rancho Santa Fe. And so
Okay.
they're going to hire us to actually manage that disbursement process and then do the site inspections and make sure the work's getting performed and then disperse those funds all the way through that construction project. So when I say we work with a lot of different lenders, that's really what we do.
That's what you mean. You are that middle guy between the lender and the contractors.
We're a service provider specifically for lenders, providing risk mitigation services for that lender.
Awesome.
And but that's not to say that that's all that we do, because we have a lot of investors that work with us too. So like we have investors that want to raise money, or they're raising money for a development project. And let's say they've got 3 or 4 investors that want to put money into a development project. We can actually hold the money for them. We'll hold the money,
Okay.
and then track that money, give the investors complete visibility on where the money's going. And as they need money for the architecture and the engineer and all the entitlement work that goes into that development over the course of a year, we can hold those dollars so the investors see exactly where it's going. We have a lot. We actually do a decent amount of that. So it's interesting who needs our services.
And that's what I was going to talk about next. Is like, who is your avatar, right? Who is the people you work with? I mean, are you direct to investor? What are you doing?
Both. Yeah, we have a lot of private money investors that utilize our services, and some builders. Builders will hire us just to manage that disbursement process for them. Predominantly, it's lenders. I mean, predominantly our avatar is probably a lender. I mean, our ideal avatar is a national lender who's got a massive footprint that wants to fund construction loans all over the country. So that's an ideal client. But we deal with small onesie twosie operations and credit unions and finance companies, and so you name it. So
got it.
Yeah.
What kind of challenges in the market are out there in the market right now, you think, pertaining to what you do?
Well, from a construction standpoint, John, I would say it's cost. It's inflation. I mean, we've pretty much leveled off with the price of materials, although who knows what's going to happen now. There could be some increase in materials, but it's the wage inflation that's really been the hardest for a lot of these projects. So it's the guy on site who's the drywaller who used to make $250 a day and now he wants $400 a day.
Yep.
So it's all of that over the course of the last 3 to 4 years that's really caused pretty massive inflation when it comes to construction. And it's still, it's not transitory. It's here to stay.
It is not. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. It's going to be here for a minute.
Not going anywhere. Construction's probably not going down.
I was going to ask, what kind of trends are you seeing? Like, where do you see things going? I mean, you've obviously been in it through a lot, right?
Yeah.
Through a lot of the different years. You've seen the ups and downs. I mean, since your inception into the business, where do you think the evolution of it was and where it's going?
Well, I think it's largely tied to demand, and I think that we're supply constrained from a residential standpoint. So I think that we're going to see continued demand for construction and for housing, and whether that be in the multifamily space or the single family space or the attached space. I think there's just going to be continued demand for housing, and I don't think that's going anywhere. I think my crystal ball broke a long time ago, but I in the length of time I've been doing this and kind of the writing on the wall, what's happening with inventories, and I think where interest rates are going, I think they're probably going to shift down over the course of the next 12 months, 18 months. So I just think there's going to be continued demand, John. I really do.
Yeah.
I think if you're in that space and you can, deal with construction and you can manage that process, I think it's a good place to be. So, yeah.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
What are the pros and cons of using you guys versus not?
Yeah. So, I would say if you don't have a team or a staff of dispersing funds or managing that draw process, don't do it yourself. Don't do it yourself, because there's a lot to it. There really is. And we educate people all the time. We walk them through it. But there's a lot of moving parts when it comes to managing a draw process. We get lenders all the time who'll hire us and they'll say, yeah, we just want you guys to disperse the funds. We don't want to do inspections. And I'm like, well, that's your visibility to what's happening on the ground. I mean, we can collect all the lien waivers, all the invoices. We can make sure that the budget's balanced. But man, if nobody's going out to that site to make sure that, if you're at 50% of the money's dispersed, you want to make sure that 50% of that work
is done.
Yeah. So like we counsel lenders all the time, like, hey, here's best practices. Here's how you should do it.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them choose to use us, but some of them don't. I see a lot of bad practices. So put it that way. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Even with large institutional lenders, a lot of times they don't follow best practices when it comes to dispersing funds. So
what are you seeing out there as far as the bad practices?
Just light on the documentation. So not collecting lien waivers, not collecting invoices, allowing a GC or an owner to submit his own photos of the site. I mean, emailing photos in saying, hey, I'm done. Here's my photos. Can you just reimburse me? And lenders do it. So, I mean, you're just opening yourself up for problems. I have an old saying, all contractors are good until they're bad. So
if you've worked with contractors enough, you'll understand that for sure.
I love contractors, so don't get me wrong. But I mean, they're people. They get themselves into messes just like anybody else. So trust but verify is what I say.
For sure. What does your team look like? Is it yourself? Do you have a team that you work with? What does that look like?
We have about 17 people that work for us. We have a great crew here locally in our office, and then we have 6 or 7 remote people that work for us that are kind of industry specialists that have lots of experience in this risk mitigation, inspections, and draw request space. It's a very niche business, and so it's super important that you have people that know what they're doing, that understand construction, that understand the documentation that we have to collect on the back end to really follow best practices. So
sure.
So it's a pretty skilled team, good people. We're blessed with that, super blessed with great people that we get to work with. So
how many lenders do you currently work with?
Oh gosh, active lenders is probably 120, something like that, 125. Okay. I mean, and it's probably more than that, but there's a lot of lenders that maybe do 2 construction loans a year or 4 construction loans a year. So but consistently maybe 100, 125. So
okay,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
How many deals are you doing a year? How many
So we have about 2,400 projects right now under management.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's probably $8.5 billion worth of construction loans. So it's a lot. It's a lot. We're doing 500 inspections a month and 500 or 600 draws a month. So we process a lot of money. We move a lot of paper.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, it's an operation. So
are you growing and gravitating towards working directly with more investors, or is just the lender business enough for you guys?
We are. We actually think there's a lot of room for growth. There's a lot of room for increased market share. We do this on a national basis. We're probably active in maybe 28 states, 29 states right now. We have great coverage from an inspection standpoint. So, but we think there's more room for growth. Yeah, definitely.
How are you guys addressing that growth? I mean, are you are you marketing in certain avenues? How are you trying to build that part of your business?
Great question. So it's so relationship based, John. It really is. I mean,
100%.
it's because lenders are hiring us. We're managing. You think about it. If you're a lender and you're going to fund a $2 million or $3 million construction loan, and you're going to send the money to us, and we're going to disperse it for you, they got to trust us.
Oh, sure.
So they've got to. So our reputation is huge, and it's a lot of shaking hands and meeting with clients and talking to them about our services. So most of our business is really referral type based, but we're at a lot of conferences. We go to a lot of lending conferences. We're probably doing 10 or 12 of them this year. So I'll be out at CMA next week out in Palm Desert.
Okay.
And then we go to Miami for an NPLA conference, and I think we're going to be back in Vegas in middle of March. So I'm traveling quite a bit. So
Damn, sounds like it. No, that's awesome. Well, sounds like you're getting a lot of good exposure.
Yeah.
If someone was to approach yourself or a business like yours, right, looking to hire your services, I mean, what are some important questions for them to ask? Like, what are things so they make a smart decision that they should know?
Yeah, I think from an investor standpoint, from a guy who's maybe flipping properties and trying to scale his business or buying apartment complexes and repositioning them, and you're dealing with individual investors, one of the things that we can do is really provide transparency to your investors that you might be bringing into these deals. And because we're going to track every penny that goes into that project, and investors want to see that. So I think from a transparency standpoint, that's really what we can do from an investor standpoint.
Okay.
And provide great visibility to not only what's happening on the site through inspections and showing what the progress is on the actual construction project, but we're also going to track the money. So they see exactly how their dollars are getting invested into that real estate project.
And that's so important.
Whether it's ground up or reposition or a flip or whatever it is. So it's visibility. So
no, and that's so important too, is to know where every dollar goes, because anybody who's flipped a house knows every dollar counts.
Yeah.
What makes you stand out, or what makes you different from anybody else out there that might do this?
Yeah. So there's not a lot of us. So I will say that, but service. We pick up our phone, we answer our phones, we talk to people, we disperse money really quickly. We will not slow you down. So a lot of our staff has a construction background. We understand that we have to move at the speed and pace of construction. So when contractors need to get paid, when subs need to get paid, we're moving money. We are, we'll process a draw request within 3 days. That's with an inspection. So subcontract or GC submits us, or the owner submits us a draw request. We're out there same day or next business day doing an inspection, tracking the budget, processing all the paperwork, and then dispersing funds. So we're making sure that guys get paid so that those subs are coming back to that project and they know they're going to get paid consistently. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And that, that, like we've talked about, that's a big thing, right? To make sure that we know that, the job's getting done, they're getting paid, the money's tracked. And that, for me, if my flip, that'd be a huge weight off my shoulders to know that that's being taken care of.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And it takes some of the burden off owners and GCs too, because they're not having to write the checks, they're not having to manage that accounting piece of it. We'll do it for them. We'll take it off their shoulders for them. So.
Well, and it's being able to focus on your lane, right? Not having those outside distractions, and that's where it goes back to not what you know, but who you know, right? Get the right person to be able to do it. So Marcus, if folks out here, maybe some of the lenders that might be on, maybe some flippers that are looking for a service like this, how would they reach out to you? Like, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Yeah, shoot us an email. My cell phone's always on. You can ping me. You got questions. You need a referral to a good lender. We have a great database of good, solid lenders that are reputable. Awesome. Happy to make a referral to somebody like that looking for financing or looking for whatever they're looking for. So happy to make those connections. So or just answer questions. So cell phone, email, call us any way you want. So
awesome. Anything else you want to share real fast before we go?
Gosh, keep going. Do things right. I think there's all sorts of opportunity out there right now. If you do it right and you focus on what you're good at, there's a lot of opportunity right now. So we're super bullish on where we're going in this market. So excited about
Awesome.
it. Yep.
That's awesome. Words for the wise, folks. Marcus, thank you for sharing all that. I mean, a lot of that is stuff that maybe a lot of our folks didn't know, but need to know, especially if you're in the flipping, managing your contractors and all that money. We know that's very important. So,
Absolutely.
Guys, I hope everybody enjoyed today's show, and you'll see you on the next episode. Cheers.
Thanks, Ron. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Marcus.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.